Tango Doje Rezo Jinja Mado Doja Bonjomba Sergio Lumbo Taver Jibuk Shakje Jabu Jodungo Janza Dorjen Janja Delo Naro Dang Mabamala Chuje Gamboba Pamo Dreba Jawan Dugongba Gaju Lama Nanje Dajon Ye Danana Zera Damche de Lama Lapa Laye Jisuzong Landindre Tonjindre Pegele Zo Gange Tinjindre Wanjong Gapa Meba Je Meba Chipa Meba Ta Meba Wa Meba Ro Meba Ta De Tome Tonjeme Dribanye Je Damba Tamba De La Janzar De Dage Lo Chuzon Ro Warzinja Labdos or Lamdan Ro Warzinja Labdos Lam Drova Zavazinja Labdos or Rova Yizon Javazinja Labdos or Tenjan Zava Lama Jeje Kuzon Dojeda Dage Julam Pede Dage Timba Dansinja Don Jajimbanda Barazinja Labdos or Okay, today's teaching is on 21 Taras. I will teach on the 21 Taras because many practitioners recite the prayer to the 21 Taras, and here we recite it weekly. I mean, every Sunday we have Tara practice. At that time, we recite 21 verses of Tara. So it is very important to understand. Actually, all Dharma is so important to understand, very important to understand. If we understand the meaning of each of Tara's verses, the more feeling arises when we recite. And if we have a feeling, then the practice is more potent, and we better connect to the Yidam deities. We better connect to the Taras. The Yidam deities dissolve in our mind from the Dharmadat space, like a candy on the tongue. Another reason to have more familiarity is that while we practice for enlightenment, we still have expectations, and we need protection and siddhis. If we don't know the protect and how we receive siddhis, it's like having close friends, but not knowing who they are and how they help us. Then how can we appreciate them and maintain our closeness? Today I will be mainly teaching stories about how Tara protects from the 16 fears. Maybe some of you might find this a little boring, but I think it will help some practitioners. When you heard these stories and now how Tara protected them, in the same way, when you face difficulties, you can supplicate and she will protect you. Actually, these 16 fears and 8 fears, those are some of fears, but still we have many different fears. So sometimes fears comes from outside. Sometimes fears arise from the inside. Whenever we have thoughts, then still we have fears. So, fortunately, Tara help us from this suffering of fears. But not only fears, it's a help through fears. It's help from different sufferings too. And then, actually, I already taught during the 7 verses of Tara. I taught about these 16 and 8 fears a little bit over there, but I did not taught the stories of those fears, how it was happened. So that's why today I would like to teach about these stories. But first, of course, we have to know the background of Tara. This is so very important. In the Tantric tradition, there are 4 yogas. And Tara belongs to the 4th or highest yoga, Anutantara or Anuyoga. This Anutantara yoga has 3 categories: father, mother, and non-dual. This is a mother tantra. Actually, the Taras sadhana, sometimes including that's called Upatantra, or it's so for that reason, someone says, "Oh, we cannot use Ramaru at that time," and so on. But the main thing is Tara belongs the Mother Tantra. So that's why it's okay. For that reason, His Eminence Ngachin Rinpoche also using that during the practice of Tara. I think this is quite important to know. Next, I will briefly mention the story of Tara. During the time of Buddha, Ngada, there was a princess who served and made offering to the Buddha Ngada and his bodhisattvas, and practice very well. So these Buddha's disciples said to her, due to your great merit, may you become a man and be able to practice the Dharma and attain Buddhahood. Then she replied with these verses from the ultimate view. There is no male and no female. There is no self and no consciousness. Male, female, self, and consciousness, these are just a level of illusory. And then, but through the relative view, she said, there are many who have attained enlightenment in a male's form, but very few in female form. And then she made a commitment saying, I will help mother sentient beings in a female form until the end of samsara. This is a great commitment, right? Because if we really don't have that feeling in deeply, then just we say, oh, I will help mother sentient beings until the end of samsara. It's pretty easy. But if we have deeply feeling inside, then how? And this is not just for one day. This is not just for a year and a month. So the end of samsara, the samsara is almost endless. So by this way, just recently we received teachings on the Avalokiteshvara. Even though he is, that is actually that action was in relative forms, but still sometimes he later actually this story comes up again, but at that time he also getting a little bit tired, and then he said that he three more times he helped, he liberated mother sentient beings, but still there are lots of them. Then he upset. Then he thought, I can't do it. But for that reasons, then Buddha Amitabha helped him. Just recently we heard about this story, right? So anyway, so this is really great commitment. If we cannot do, if we cannot make this kind of special commitment as Tara made, still we just rejoice on it. I think it's still have great benefit. So maybe it says by Milarepa. I don't remember exactly who said that, but in my mind I have that, has that. So I quote to you, I tell you. It says, if you would like to accumulate merit with lie down in your bed, then best thing is rejoice. So that's very true. Otherwise, we are going to practice. We are going to prostration. We are going to recite mantras. We are going to go circumambulations, and we are going to teach. We are going to meditate. A lot of things, right? But then the best thing, the rejoice, is just you lie down, close the eyes, put on your feet, one feet, put another feet, just joyfully lie down on your soft bed, and then just you rejoice. That is really how to say, great method to accumulate merit. Okay, so I will keep going continuously this story. Then she stayed in the kingdom because she was princess, right? Princess. So then using the five qualities. Using the five qualities means that she did not give up the sins, pleasures, but rather engaged them without attachment. For example, she watched a dance. She did not attach, but rather saw it as an offering to the yidams. Also, she practiced on samadhi. Okay, first I think I would a little bit tell about the five sins, the qualities, using the five qualities. Perhaps you are not making sense. So the five qualities are through eyes we see the different colors, different like a dance and a lot of things. Through ears and hearing the different sounds, music. In the kingdom has everything, right? And then for the tongue, still can use different delicious food and can drink different juice. And then for the nose, or then we can take some kind of fragrance, and so on. So anyhow, she did not give up them suddenly, but she used them. Then how she used smartly is when, for instance, she watched a dance and she watched it. She did not say, I don't want to watch dance, but she watched it, and then she offered to the Yidam deities from her mind. So we can do this thing if we will do. Even though we see the beautiful flowers, then we just from whether this flower is our flower or not, it doesn't matter. Just we offer, oh, there's beautiful flower, so I offer to the Buddha Dharma Sangha 3 jewels. Or Tara, I offer Tara, like that. And then also we can dedicate this flower. Oh, this flower makes me so happy when I see it, may this flower who makes happy whoever see it. So actually Dharma means the mind. So perhaps Dharma practice is not easy. There are many rules and regulations and laws. Then our emotion, afflictive emotion, is very, very strong, very strong. And then it's the Dharma mind is like a butter lamp in the wind. The winds are like afflictive emotions. So we're not sure how can maintain about this practice. Perhaps if we take, if we bring our own experiences, it's not easy, honestly. Not easy for the different conditions, different situations. But perhaps Dharma practice is very easy because only way of thinking. This is only way of thinking. So anyway, we are going to Dharma practice through two truths: ultimate truth, and relative truth. And the relative truth, we are going to do lots of good things. We are going to use our wisdom. Sometimes we think we are doing well, but if there is not enough wisdom, then sometimes it is becoming cause of problems, sufferings. So wisdom is very important. Even though this our Buddha nature is wisdom, then only wisdom, of course, is does not enough. It means Buddha nature is not only part of wisdom. Buddha nature is compassion, love. We call it bodhicitta. These two things are necessary. The way of our practice. Even though we recite only single moment about mantra, we need both of these. I mean, compassion, bodhicitta, and wisdom. Through the compassion and bodhicitta, we think mother sentient beings. And the small part of wisdom can think how help to mother sentient beings. But great wisdom is we have to know the emptiness. This mantra is emptiness. Mother sentient beings, emptiness. Mother sentient beings are emptiness. And our practitioners are emptiness. Bodhicitta is emptiness. Compassion is emptiness. Then good and bad, everything's emptiness. So that princess, she practiced on samadhi, and then she realized the truth of non-arising. All the phenomena are non-arising in the ultimate view. she realized that. Then she meditated on special samadhi called liberator of sentient beings. If in her morning section she was not able to liberate thousands of sentient beings, then she would not take food. Here, liberate means she would lead worldly sentient beings from their confused perceptions to a clear understanding of Dharma. Also, in the afternoon, she liberated thousands of sentient beings. That's how her name became Dharma. Tara is Sanskrit, right? Then Dharma is this translation. Dharma means liberator. In English, we call it liberator from the suffering or from the samsara. I'm not sure how much relevant here, but usually this when we Tibetan, her name is Dharma, but her name is Tara, right? In Sanskrit. So when we recite the name of Tara or Dharma or other names if we have. I think still fun. It's fun. Probably during the meditation, especially we meditate on mantra. I think we meditate Tham. Is very important, which means these Sanskrit mantras are mantras have Sanskrit mantra have special power. I'm not sure how much it's suitable if I explain through this way, but I try to say this way. These Taras mantra, the Sanskrit mantras are Sanskrit mantras have special powers, inconceivable powers. The reason is these mantras externally made by the elements, 5 elements. For instance, we say right? Is made by forms of fire. This the form of maybe shape of is like a triangle, really. So then when we watch the fire burning, it always has naturally there has a triangle. And then other mantras are like water. Other mantras are like space. Other mantras are like different elements. They externally then internally and secretly there are many meanings. So when we visualize, I think best thing is we keep Sanskrit. For example, this right now we see this in Tibetan language, but that is Sanskrit. So I mean, in order to that is the best thing. Then when we recite the syllable the pronouns. Also, of course we have to recite correctly. Many people may not have problems. Many people think, oh, the is very easy to, everybody knows on that. But has different, what's the part? There is something we are going to look some part, under the have some small letters at that moment, then we want to recite or kind of these things. So anyway, during the recite mantra, it's very important to recite correctly. Also, Tam. Tam is the main mantra of Tara, right? Then we visualize Tam. Sometimes we visualize the green Tam. Sometimes we visualize the white Tam. That is fun. It's dependent with the sadhana. But the syllable Tam, that's Sanskrit Tam. I think that is best to visualize. Otherwise, with different languages. Even though in Tibetan we can make Tam just through pronounce. Ka, no, just ta, and then next we write ma, and then become Tam, right? Tam, and then other languages also can make Tam. When we visualize, actually till now, honestly, till now I also taught to the Dharma brothers and sisters. Any language is fun. Any languages mantra you can visualize. It's fun because if I say you don't do that in this, then the new Dharma friends are very difficult to visualize on there. So that's why I said it is fun. Any kind of language have mantra, you just do like that. But then slowly your Dharma knowledge will grow, and then you try to visualize the Sanskrit mantra. Make sense? Hopefully makes sense. If not, then another time, if we have a question, answer, something, I will try to make sense. So the Dharma means Tara. Tara. Dharma means Tara. Then English we call liberator. And then Buddha Ngada prophesied. I think prophesied that in all future rebirth, until she became Buddha, she would have the name Dharma. And then in the eon called expanding victory. Before the Buddha Amoghasiddhi, Dharma promised to protect sentient beings from harm. Then she protected thousands of sentient beings during the day and the night. Then in the unobstructed eon, unobstructed eon. This is eon's name. Once there was a fully ordained monk to whom the Buddhas of the 10 durations give empowerment, called heart light. And thus he became Chinese, this fully ordained monk. Just to receive the empowerment, then become Chinese. It does not mean like that. But if it is ready, then it is very possible, right? Very possible means it is true. But just in case, I will explain some little different ways here. But you have to know that if this flower is almost ready to blossom, if only this flower need single drop of water, then this flower can make, this water can make open or blossom this flower. Similarly, someone who are ready to become enlightened, and then they need only one empowerment, and then receive that empowerment, they will become Buddha. That is in the so either one, which way you would like to understand. But I think there are some new Dharma brothers, sisters. So for that's where we try to understand another ways. But this is not just make from thoughts, but this is the truth, the relatives form. But first, let me finish this. Then other Buddhas gave him another empowerment called Great Wisdom Light. And these two lights, wisdom light and heart light, came into union like a father and a mother. Then from the monk who become Chinese, or Chinese means Avalokiteshvara, right? Emanated Tara. If you, so that's where, if you're wondering how to the monk become Chinese, it doesn't mean that suddenly he changed color or grew more arms, but it means his mind changed. His mind totally became the nature of the compassion, which is Chinese. Then he realized the nature of emptiness and gained the omniscience of the compassion Buddha. So here, often you heard that the momentarily we are on the compassion, truly compassion, then we are compassion Buddha. At that moment, but then comes back in the afflictive emotions, then we are just normal life. Then the Avalokiteshvara liberated mother sentient beings many times, as recently I shared it through the teaching of Chinese sadhana. But the sentient beings are unending, and seeing these tales feel from his eyes. Feel from his eyes. The tales become ponds. Tears become tears, right? or tears become a pond in which grew 21 lotus. And from this appeared the 21 Taras. So if you would like to know how 21 Taras appeared, right? And the Taras said, Chinese, don't cry. Chinese is crying for what? Chinese is crying for the sake of mother thinking beings. And then Tara, of course, said, don't cry. I will help you to liberate mother thinking beings. Then Tara promised in front of Chinese, I will protect mother thinking beings from the 8 and 16 types of fears. Even if someone just call my name is Tara's name, okay? I will protect them, and not only that, but I will liberate mother thinking beings from samsara. So Tara promised in front of Compassion Buddha. Okay, so now this is the background or story of Tara, and then now I will give examples of how Tara protects us from the 16 fears. I already taught you. When you heard these stories, perhaps you are more believe in Tara. Perhaps means so. I mean that's where I think it's very good to hear about the stories. So the first one instance of Tara protecting from the fear of enemies is in this story of a king who was sleeping in his garden. It is possible. It was possible, right? King who was sleeping in his garden. Then his enemies came to garden with weapons. The king suddenly awoke and realized the situation. What is the situation? Because his enemies came into the garden with weapons. He saw that he had no way out, because around of the enemies already around of him. So he had no way out, nor could he fight because he had no weapons. He just sleeping in peaceful garden, a quiet garden. Then he supplicated Tara deeply from his heart. Then the strong wind blew through the garden and scattered his enemies, and he was saved. Then in the second example, Tara protects from the fear of lions. lions. Once there was a man who was gathering firewood in the wilderness. And when starving lioness, hungry, starving lioness attacked him. So she dragged him to her cave. As he lay there, almost at the end of his life, he prayed to Tara from his heart. All of a sudden, a lady wearing leaves. Maybe this Parnashavara. Parnashavara is she is also including of 21 Taras. Lady wearing leaves came into the cave and took him away to a safe place. This is second how Tara protect the fear of from the fear. Then third, this story shows how Tara protects from fear of mud elephant. Once there was a 12 years old girl, 12 years younger, maybe older girl. She went to collect. She went to collect flowers. When she encountered a mad elephant, he picked up her with his trunk and was about to kill her because he was a mad elephant, right? So she prayed to Tara, even though she was 12 years old. She prayed to Tara deeply from her heart. Slowly the elephant grew calm. He took her to the area of the royal palace and placed her on a stone by the palace gate. Then he knelt down as if prostrating to her. The king saw this from a window and thought that this girl must be special. He had her brought inside and she became princess. So she supplicated Tara deeply, and then Tara helped her like that. Then fourth is how Tara protects fear of snake. Once in a city, there was a prostitute who encountered a businessman who told her he wanted to give her a special jewel for her serfs. So she went to his house and returned home in the middle of the night. On the way home, she held on to a tree branch. On this tree has a poisonous snake, and this snake wrapped, right? Wrapped, itself around her body. She felt helpless, and she couldn't think of anything to do except supplicate Tara. She supplicated deeply from her heart. Then the snake unwrapped itself from her body and went away. So whether you are, so this story we understand that, whether you are higher, famous, or whether you are king or not, she is a prostitute, but she supplicates to Tara, then Tara helps her. This young girl is only 12 years, she supplicates Tara help her. So Tara doesn't think who you are, right? That means Tara has a great compassion. Tara's mind is full of compassion. If you think who you are, okay, you are just young. You are young, only 12 years old. I don't want to help you because you have, if I help you, you have nothing. That is not Tara's thinking. Oh, you are prostitute. So you are especially you are city prostitute. So I don't want to help you. Tara doesn't say that. Tara knows she is a prostitute, and ordinary people knows that she is prostitute. That rich man, he knows she is prostitute. He just uses it. So compassion means equally have to. We need equality, especially we are Dharma practitioners. We need equality mind. If we are going to become compassionate, then we have to learn through these stories how Tara help others. So this is then this fifth story, how Tara protects from fear of robbers. Once there was a businessman who was returning to his homeland from a far away place. He had loaded his wealth on many camels. Actually, the story says thousands of camels, but I think some of our mind cannot think on that. Then I just made only many. Many is including thousands. Thousands is including many. So, and elephants, many elephants and many camels. In an isolated place, he came upon many dead bodies and realized that there were robbers nearby and become full of fear. Yeah, of course, in the isolated place has a lot of dead bodies, and then there's many robbers. Then his mind is full of fear. He had no other refuge. At that time, he has no thinking about his wealth. Maybe he has only thinking his life. So he supplicated Tara deeply from his heart. Then in the next moment, he was surrounded by many ladies with a weapon in their hands. Weapons in their hands. Then the robbers saw ladies, and the ladies draw robbers away. So here also we have to remember that our compassion is not boundless compassion. How we know that? For example, one snake, for example, one snake kill a rabbit. We definitely angry that snake. We are compassion on the rabbit. That means our compassion is not boundless compassion. But Tara here, she did not kill these robbers, but she protected that man. So that means boundless compassion. Always we have, me too, I have that experience. I like animals' kingdom. Most of the time, honestly, I would like to watch, I don't like to watch that much about news. I don't like to watch that much other kind of things. I don't mean I disrespect about news and those things. I respect, but I honestly, from my favorite is, I always would like to watch about the animals. Then many lions, they eat cows. Then I'm angry to lions. Sometimes the cows attack to lions. I'm happy. I was happy, really. Oh, and it's a crocodile. Then the cows and other looks like a donkeys. This iron zebras. They came into the water and they drink water, and then crocodile. They kill them. I'm very angry, and then sometimes they step on their head. The zebras step on their crocodile's head. I'm happy a little bit. So, but then slowly I think, oh, this is my in order to my attachment and aversion. That is not my compassion. I know. I noticed that, and then. I would like to try to transform into the boundless compassion, but right now I'm just an ordinary person, so I have those kind of attachment aversion. So anyway, I respect the all the channels. I don't mean really why I want to make unhappy others' mind. This is not lie from me. I watch sometimes any kind of channels, of course, but among them, my favorite is the animals. So, but through this way, I have those experience. Future, I will change my mind. I mean, I try to make it big and big my compassion. Right now, compassion is very small, too small. Okay. Then the businessman reached his homeland safely. So Tara protected him. Then sixth is an example of how Tara protects from ghosts. Everybody is afraid of ghosts. Once there was a monastery that had full ordained monks. But somehow one monk died each night. One monk died each night. One night, one of the regular monks went out of the temple, and in the dark, he met a very scary ghost. Very scary ghost. The ghost was about to kill the monk. The monk supplicated Tara, and suddenly a lady appeared with a weapon. When the ghost saw the lady, he gave a treasure box to the monk and disappeared. He got two benefits, right? First is he can save his life. Another is he got a treasure box. So Tara is in Zambala. Tara is all the damn ladies. Then seventh is a story how Tara protects from fear of leprosy. Once there was a Brahmin is still, I think it has in India, who due to his karma contracted leprosy. He stayed among people, and slowly all his friends got leprosy too. A total 500 Brahmins got the disease. Doctors couldn't help, and their families rejected them. Rejected whether they cannot contact with them. It's almost like recently the disease. If they contact with them, then they got it, right? And while the Brahmin cast are very clean, and people respect them. They did not eat just regular food in the town, something, I think they are very hygienic. Then these leprosy Brahmins become beggars. One day, as they were out, began for food. They saw a statue of Tara made of stone. They all felt great devotion for the stone statue. Together, they deeply supplicated the statue. From the hand of the statue came a nectar. That they thought was Tara's blessing. And they each put some of the nectar on their body, and they all completely recovered their skin, becoming more radiant than before. So this story is similarly means in my perfect way of teaching, this book has this story. One old woman, she asked to her son. Her son is businessman. He traveled different countries, and then he went to the India. She always asked him, please bring me some blessing things from Buddha's place, holy place. But he always comes back, he forgets. Then last, she little warned him, right? If you did not bring anything this time, I will die in front of you. And then he went out, and then he came back. Almost he arrived his house, home. And then he remembered, oh, I forgot to bring blessing thing for my mom. And then he just looked around and he found one dead bodies of a dog. Then he brought that teeth, and then he covered with a scarf, kata or something, and then he gave that to his mom. And then his mom practiced supplicate on there, and then she got relics from these dogs, teeth or teeth. So then this is still there are another understanding. This is we can say that both is correct, I think. We think, oh, this is the power of her faith and supplications, and then this teeth is just normal teeth. Or these are in order to Buddha's blessing. So Lord Jigten Sunggung in his Gonjik, he says, His Eminence Garshin Rinpoche often quoted that Shibzar Sitse Sangje Jawasi, that means old phenomena works of the Buddha. That means whoever practiced with them, then they got a benefit from them. Anyhow, yeah. Then 8 is how Tara protects from the fear of being separated from loved ones. Once there was a wealthy Brahmi who had lots of friends and family. Then severe disease came to the land, and his son, his wife, his uncles, and everyone died. He was extremely sad and very distressed. He went to Saranath, where there were many Buddhists. They practiced Tara. He heard from them how Tara is full of blessings and powerful. Then he deeply supplicated and offered handfuls of flowers and prayed. He returned to his hometown, and soon he married the princess of king. Princess of king. This king's name is King Jayatindra. Maybe Jayatindra. He became very well known, and he established 108 Tara temples where Tara was practiced. So Tara practiced him. Then number 9 is a story that demonstrates how Tara protects from the fear of yakshas. We always recite these sadhanas, Deva, Naga, Yaksha. What is the meaning of a yaksha? So now we will know. Yaksha means mountain spirits. Spirit. Once there was Upasaka. Do you guys know Upasaka? Upasaka means, I think this is me too. In order to this is name of Upasaka, but we call it Tibetan called Gemni. It means the Buddhist lay practitioner who keeps 5 vows. 5 vows. Then one time he went to the fields for work, where there was a small yaksha shrine. What is called this? Like a shrine. He stepped over the shrine and made the yakshas angry. The step is actually disrespect. Recently, we learned about the 35 confessional Buddhas. We step over the books, then how much we have karma, right? Karmic fruitions. So while he was walking, he stepped over the shrine and made the yakshas angry while he was walking. Later, he returned home. A big storm came around with lots of thunder, lightning, and many materials fell. Materials in his house. At that moment, he remembered Tara and supplicated Tara, and then all the fire of the material went out. And even though his house and being damaged, his family was not harmed. The materials that fell in his house, he gave yogi practitioners, and they used them as substances in accomplishing mantra. So these materials are in Tibet also. They got it, they kept it, and then the yogi practitioners, they use for accomplishing mantras, and then they have some special power, and so. So that's where today I think I will stop here. Still, the rest of these other affairs with the story, I will share another Sunday. And then the main teaching on these 21 Taras also I will teach on another Sunday. But I think these stories perhaps may have some benefit to her or to her about this story. Like that. And then the rest of there, I would like to recite 21 verses of Tara with melodies. So can you come please do us together? This only 21 verses. You know that melody, right? Yeah, let us do that. The rest of this time, and also may I have 1 and 3 of us recite. And I think you turn on your microphone. People need to.
prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage Tara, swift heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord of three worlds, tear-born lotus. Homage she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent as 1,000-star collection. Homage golden blue one lotus, water-born in hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors' children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with tutare, whom desire direction and space, trampling with her feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the All-Lords, Shakra, Agni, Brahma, Marut, honored by the hosts of spirits, corpse raisers, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her trait and pate sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right in, blazing in a raging fire blaze. Homage to a very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champions, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart, her fingers adorn her with 3 jewel mudras, light ray masses all excited, all directions wheels adorn her. Homage she so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with tutare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with her whom sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage crown adorned with crescent, moon all ornaments most shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending out much light eternal. Homage she made wreath ablaze like aeon-ending fire abiding. Right stretched, left bent, joy surrounds you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter whom the 7 levels she does conquer. Homage happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace nirvana, she endowed with Om and Swaha, destroyer of great evil. Homage she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder, freeze with whom and knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage Ture with seed letter, of shape of syllable, whom by foot stamping shakes the 3 worlds, Meru, Mandara, and Vindhya. Homage holding in her hand the hair-marked moon of Deva lake form, with twice spoken Tara and Pate, totally dispelling poison. Amid she whom gods and their kings and the kinnaras do honor. Armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Amid she whose two eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with twice Hara and two Tare, she dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating power by the set of three natures, destroys hosts of spirits, yakshas, and raised corpses supreme ture. This three praises with a root mantra and prostrations thus are 21.
Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. This next one o'clock, we will start a meditation class. Let us do together, and thank you very much. And I rejoice all of your practice. Thank you.